Aries, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. I said that in a reprimanding way. I didn't mean there was like, I think that sometimes when I start out with calling you by name, it's to get your attention, and I feel like you've been distracted. There's been a lot you've been moving through. I'm getting this you've been going through such a change that sometimes this happens too with a lot of us. And I think many of us in the spiritual path are feeling this of like, I am still getting used to this new identity, this new vibration, and I feel a little out of sorts. And what I have noticed recently is no matter what you may be moving through in November on an individual level, on a collective level, November in and of itself is a time for us to slow down because we're going into retrograde, and to not push upstream. Don't paddle upstream. Go with the flow, especially of your body, because we're all going through these energetic shifts, upgrades, downloads, and the like. And this is when we integrate them. All right. So give yourself a lot of space and time to process what you need to process. All right. Now let's get into some of the nitty gritty information. Thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Aries. All right, Aries. I've got the Book of Awakening. Sorry, the Book of Awakening. Forgive me. Retrograde. This is why we have to watch our words. I meant the Oracle of Awakening. The first card coming out for you, Aries, is Center Point. Grounded, centered, and sovereign. Yeah. See how she's mindfully stepping barefoot on the planet? Some of you are being guided to even ground, literally. I think, you call it earthing. Feeling the ground beneath your feet. If you feel like you're all up in our, when we're going through a lot of these energetic pushes, it's very cerebral, and the earth is here to ground our energy. So this could be you just trying to center in a new frequency, center in your body, moving through whatever emotions that are coming up. And Spirit is indicating that no matter what storms are going on within you, vibrationally, emotionally, spiritually, that you can remain sovereign, centered, and grounded. Doesn't mean there's upheaval. It just means, on a collective, in the collective container that we're in, which is called Earth, life, being an earthling, there's a lot going on. And so Aries, coming to this reading, you clicked on it because Spirit's first message to you is stay centered and grounded in your own individual frequency. And the more you stay in your own lane and hone in on that, the easier every day will be. And that's a message for us all, Aries. Staying centered. You have a center point. And you know when you're in it. All right? You know when you're in it. Ooh, wow, I love it. This is incredible. This came out for the overall collective energy. And it's almost like Aries, you're like, I can show everyone how it's done. Virgo actually had a very strong alignment when I pulled all the signs out. And honestly, I can't remember what I did for y'all yesterday in the messages. But I will say, this is you really working on the embodiment of the sacred masculine and sacred feminine. And this could be an indication that some of you have something that is either coming in a frequency of balance and grounded energy in the hierarchy of self. Whenever we talk about the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, really what it means is moving out of wounded masculine and feminine, whether it's with you or with a counterpart, and into healthy sacred masculine and feminine. Key words around the masculine is protective, active, and inner strength. And this is about our leadership in the world and taking action, but from a deliberate place. And then the sacred feminine is in this creation energy to be receptive and soft. So this means that you're going to feel a softening this month towards yourself and others. And also you're going to feel an inner strength around protecting your energy inwardly, and also perhaps protecting people around you. You could feel, I want to protect, if you identify as a sacred masculine, you could be feeling more protective over your loved ones. If you identify as a sacred feminine, you could feel more soft and gentle and loving with your loved ones. The ultimate is to have both of these energies within. And you're showing the zodiac right now how it can be done. And it is a matter of staying grounded and centered in self. This is beautiful. I want to get into the tarot now. I'll show you these in a second if you want to look at the images. I'm not sure if I already did. But I talked in great length about these yesterday because they came out for the entire collective. And I think that's what you're doing. You're centering in your sovereignty in more healthy states of masculine and feminine energy. All right. Let's go into current and crossing. Ooh, I might have to retire this deck soon. It's getting a little, when it gets a little flimsy, it's ready to retire. All right. Let's see. Maybe some of you are retiring. Finally, closing a chapter on work for some of you. So I never say retire here at the outset. All right. Current crossing. Ooh, I love it. Empress. Wow, with the King of Pentacles. Again, sacred feminine, grounded masculine. I love this. This is gorgeous energy. Aries, you're in a really nice balanced energy. It does feel like a culmination around you being almost like, I'm getting energized, vibratory energetics around the next big act for you, the next big, creation. Ooh, and this could have a lot to do with romantic love or a new soulmate contract coming in. We have the Two of Cups. And some of you are in a sacred union and you're really trying to ground in that. Or this is a sacred divine union within self and you're calling in love or calling in deepening connection with others. This Two of Cups doesn't have to be one particular soulmate. It could be your soul family, right? Grounding in that. Oh my God. I almost said something else. Opportunity is the Page of Pentacles. I like that. That's, almost like you're in a beautiful opportunity to put a period at the end of the sentence around something that you have manifested in the material. And you're being humble about it, though. You're like, you know what? I'm going to take this money and not sneak out the door, but there's something about you becoming more financially stable in the material realm. And it's like seed money for something else. And I see that Page of Pentacles as the seed money. What are you going to do with that? And that's your opportunity. The challenge is the Two of Pentacles. Maybe you're undecided about what next, because there does seem to be some chapter coming to a close. And you're putting your heart into it. There's this really beautiful, this is rare for me because when we're manifesting, we're not always manifesting so intentionally and so consciously. And I see that you are. You're being very careful about your next moves. And it could be around the commitment to a higher level of love. There's something throwing you off, though, because I think you're undecided about which direction to go into. All right. Wow. And we have the Ten of Cups. This is unbelievable, Aries. Well, maybe you're just trying to stabilize in a higher frequency. Some of you, that pretty much is. Stabilize in, when we start to shift and grow and expand, it takes some getting used to. It's like being in new skin, with the Scorpio season shedding skin. The old ways of operating, the old ways of living, the old ways of being, Aries, have changed for you. And then it takes a little time to adjust and recalibrate and get used to it. And you're showing me here, you're starting to get used to a whole new frequency. Oh my God. What the heck? Now we have the Star in What You Don't See Coming. So there could be something really coming in this month. It's a vibe. It's a frequency. It's a vibration. And it's called balance. It's called being centered. It's called being aligned. And there's so much emotional fulfillment coming in. I don't think, for some of you, you're just almost like sitting and waiting and holding steady. And you're trying to not let your earth energy get off balance in the wait. Why am I getting this feeling of you waiting? And because there's so much sovereign balance here with you, understanding your value and your worth, being very mindful of how you invest in energies. Some of you are in a beautiful relationship at this time, either with yourself or with another. This could be you just really manifesting more money and more harmony in your life. All right. I'm going to get a few angel oracles. Keep nurturing your creativity and keep taking action around the things that are making you step outside your comfort zone. And stay grounded, Aries. That's what I'm getting mostly. Oh, we got 1212, persistence. Oh, happy day. An ample opportunity related to your life life's purpose is just around the corner. Take immediate action once it pops up. Of course, a lovely partnership or an epic romance is also in the cards. Yeah, some of you have been waiting for love, a new soulmate contract. And meanwhile, you've really grown, really grown and stabilized in your frequency in a new frequency. We have shift, enthusiasm, gratitude, contentment, and new experiences. Persistence pays off, Aries. 1212. So you may be seeing that. Or I'm getting 3-3 as an indication of this integrative divine embodiment work that you've been doing. Sacred embodiment work, which is a big part of the collective thing for the month. So you're really leading the way here. I love it. All right, 1212. We also have 444. You're under divine protection as you undergo these shifts this month. Get ready for the good things you've been hoping for, Aries. You were born for a higher calling. Put your energy into going toward your ambitions, which I see you doing that. And it's like when you have confidence, you go for it. And maybe you've had to wait a bit to gain greater confidence, to feel like I'm going to do this. So you put your energy into going toward your ambitions, and the universe will align itself to provide you with the right people, circumstances, and resources to make things happen. So if you've put that intention out and you've been persistent, Spirit is saying, we hear you, we got the message, we're supporting you, and get ready. Change, rebellion, guidance, justice, truth, character, and love. Interesting. I like that. So you're under divine protection this month, as the energies are all pointing towards a manifestation coming in that is part of your destiny, part of your wish fulfillment, part of your emotional abundance, part of your blessings, Aries. This is beautiful. I feel like, should we just stop here? What's at the bottom? 888. Yeah, personal power. Like I said, the more you gain clarity and confidence on your path about what you want for yourself, and you just give it time to breathe, give it space to breathe, it will happen eventually. And a lot of you, there's something magically happening this month around a soulmate. All that is good and pleasant in your life will multiply. Angels are sending the number 888 to reassure you of the prosperity and well-being ahead. Your surroundings will treat you with admiration and respect. Use it for the greater good. Material and spiritual abundance, which I'm seeing here. The Empress, you opened with the Empress and the King of Pentacles. You have the Ten of Cups in your future. You have the overall general energy being love, emotional harmony. It's only going to multiply and double as time goes on here. And it's part of your wish fulfillment and your healing, and you're being guided by your intuition to do so. This is pouring into the collective consciousness in the Aquarian age, making a difference. Wow. Material and spiritual abundance, wealth, resources, force, balance, confidence, material gain, epic romance. Wow, Aries. I don't think I've ever gotten something that sounds so good everywhere I look. It's like you peering under a rock. And maybe you've been waiting for something miraculous to happen. And it seems like November is a very auspicious month for you, for the backdrop for this to happen. Now I'm being guided to pull out. This is more of my, I don't know. There's something about this deck that feels more loving, very sacred feminine, since you started out in the Empress energy. And the Empress really is a hierarchy, archetypal energy. It is the divine mother. It's Mother Earth herself. I was listening to a podcast this morning that the Earth, they've been able with geotectonics to really understand that the Earth is actually breathing in her volcanic structures. And when you think of it, it's like, it just makes you fall in love with the planet even more. And maybe that's really at the heart of this, with this grounded energy and you going into alignment here and honoring the divine feminine. This is falling in love with your path and falling in love with your journey on this planet and co-creating with this planet, Aries, in such a beautiful way. It's like the planet wants to give back to you. Wow. Let's see. Let's now clarify. I want to go into this Two of Cups energy. I'm very curious about what this is all about for you for November. And just keep in mind, too, I'm doing all of the readings now with chapters, reading chapters. So if you want to skip ahead or bounce around, it's all laid out for you in timestamps from now on. All right, Aries. Two of Cups. Why is this here for the overall general energy for November for you? This is marvelous. Feel like they're going to come spilling out here. Yes, it is worth it. It's worth it when you work it. You got the Seven of Pentacles. I'm such a dork. Got the Seven of Pentacles with the Four of Swords. It hasn't been easy. This is when you're like, man, I'm a little worn out. You know, he's leaning on his shovel here, and he's manifested quite a bit in his life. This fella here, as you can see, and he's resting. You might feel a little bit of light worker burnout. This is, Four of Swords lately for the light worker collective has been a little bit burnt. I'm burnt, a little burnt, crispy, of always having to do the work, right? Hold, the higher energies. And it's okay for you to take, this is when you have the leader, right? They just showed me like a family and you're riding bicycles and the leader takes the headwind the most. And look at the geese, the leader has the followers in formation, right? And the head takes the brunt of the wind. And so Spirit is saying, you can go to the back and rest for a bit, Aries. Rest in this frequency of love. I feel like it's not just about you and other people. It's you and your own higher self. I don't often get the Two of Cups as a relationship between you and your divinity, the union between you and your higher self, but it feels very much like that. And if you want to speak on practical terms, a lot of you have manifested healing love, or you're calling in healing love, and you're like at that very edge of this coming in, and you're almost about to give up hope. I'm not here to sugarcoat or breadcrumb you in this reading. I am seeing that there is love available to you regardless of who is in your life. And when you do align with that, regardless of who's in your life, chances are more love finds its way to you because you're not putting effort or force or resistance in the pot. You're just like, it'll happen when it happens. I trust. I have faith that what is meant for me will come to me. So, Seven of Pentacles, Four of Swords. What's the last one? This is a lot of you are going in new directions in a soul connection. And it's a place you've never been. I'm getting, for those of you who are in partnership here, I might as well be doing a divine partnership. It feels that way. This is your divine partnership with self. What is inspiring you? What gets you out of bed in the morning, Aries? And go after it. And it's worth the climb, right? So you rest when needed and charge forward when you're ready. And that's what Spirit's saying in November. You don't have to go full speed ahead into this healing work, right? As a light worker, or shining your light as a light worker, or in moving quickly through each phase of a soulmate bond. I'm getting this: take mindful steps, stay centered and grounded. This is gorgeous energy. We have the Ace of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords with the Two of Cups. I mean, Aries, think about it. What do you see here that I see? I see every element beautifully represented. We have fire, a new beginning on the spiritual path, a new beginning in perhaps a sexual partner, or a new inspiration from the divine that just might hit you in your dreams or in a meditation, a new path. Your earth energy, a little tired, Jenna, a little worn out, okay? Is it really worth all of this effort that I put into my life, into myself, into my growth, into my healing, into my wellness, into people? Yes. That's your earth energy. You're questioning your path, some of you. And then you have the Four of Swords. And then your mind, Spirit saying, remember that this is a healing journey and to be patient with the process. And then you have the Two of Cups. Love is here to support you by the universe, by the non-physical realm, by the archangels, by the ascended masters, by the people in your life that are heart-led. Two of Cups is a heart-led energy. Like, I'm giving you my heart, you're giving me yours, and you're safe here. So Aries, this is all that you're swimming in. That's why I went deep in this one. Balanced energy. It's incredible. In your emotions, in your mind, in your earth energy, and in your fire. This is how it's done, folks. I don't think I've ever found a more aligned reading thus far, ever, in a reading. And I'm very stoked for you. We even have a lot of alignment here. 12-12, 4-4, 8-8-8-8. It's like, as you move through the month, it's going to keep multiplying. It's like you keep going up an exponential amount here. Let's look at the Page of Pentacles. And this is why I'm doing the chapters, because I am long-winded in these monthlies. I give you my all. And I think that's what you've been doing too, Aries. You give life, your vibrational currency, your all. And something that I've really been watching lately with people that are deeply, deeply integrating is taking a light approach, not taking your life seriously as much as you can at this time on this planet is very helpful. Okay. Page of Pentacles. And I know you all are really good at that. Page of Pentacles. As far as just being silly and lighthearted and fun, I haven't met an Aries that doesn't make me really laugh. Really, really laugh. Childlike, okay? Childlike. Page of Pentacles. What's here? 9 of Pentacles. Oof. 10 of Pentacles. What on earth? 2 of Swords. You are at a crossroads of it's almost like watch me manifest. A lot of you have really found the keys to manifestation. And it has to do with your own creative fire, your own creative energy, because there's something like you're going from, like I said, one level to the next level. It is. This is a wild energy I'm getting off of this, which I don't often do. It's almost like you may not even realize how powerful you are, Aries. It's like when you just apply a little bit of that magic that you have in your own frequency. This is you standing strong, independent, free, cultivating. Lately, the 10 of Pentacles for me has been the highest timeline, right? You reaching for greatness. And 2 of Swords is not letting anything stop you, which is the mind. Who's going to overthink everything? Who's going to be like, well, question, doubt. And Spirit saying, you know what? You've learned enough on the path not to do that to yourself. Ow. Basically, you're not going to sabotage your earthly energy. You're almost, this is really wild because it feels like you're resourcing your energy from the earth herself. And maybe you're doing this unconsciously in your sleep, and why that's the 2 of Swords here. It's like she's not even aware of what's really going on. This is really unique energy for me to read, even when I'm picking up intuitively for you all. There's something really powerful happening in the Aries collective right now. And it's like you're gassing up with a new, substance that you've never had in your life before, like a new frequency, a new energy. It's very interesting. All right. Now, if you want to think in practical terms, you're trying not to let your mind and your doubts interfere with something that means a hell of a lot to you. You're placing a very high value on something happening in your life, which could have to do with another person. And you're like, my key here is not let my mind F it up, and to take my time with how I apply myself, and to stay independent all along the way. Basically, avoid enmeshment at all costs. Avoid codependency at all costs, because you know what that does. This could be somebody you're dealing with too, if this is about a partnership. 2 of Pentacles. Also, for those of you who are thinking about a big change in your career, whatever this new thing is that you know you're meant to do, don't waste time. Like, if you're not ready to launch it, start just doing the behind the scenes stuff, because that's where the magic happens with anything we create. Whether it's fine tuning and practicing your skills, doing different drafts, doing different, just whatever that is. Just keep practicing until you're ready for your work to be seen, right? Two of Pentacles. Definitely at this, trying to come back into balance. Energy. Five of Wands, Queen of Swords, Knight of Cups. Yeah. It's like you have a voice in your head that knows how to handle when your mind gets out of control. When your mind's like coming up with all kinds of worst case scenarios. This is like when we worry. And I think that you know what it's like and how much it can deplete you when you worry. Like, how long is this going to last? How long am I going to feel this way? When are they going to come in? When am I going to get the money that I want? Like, you can drive yourself bonkers, and that's human nature. But you're really reining it in November. You're like, you know what? I can let my mind go in a million different directions about my path. And Spirit's saying, try to manage it. Manage when your mind wants to take over. All right? Because that's what's going to create this. That's the challenge, right? Will you let the mind take over? And you're like, no, Queen of Swords over that. Five of Wands. I'm going to keep my heart open instead. So every time you have a thought that's going to put you into a worrisome feeling, that's going to take you to a lower vibration, you say, you know what? I see you thought. I'm going to slay you. I'm getting, I pity the fool who has a thought like that. I'm getting Mr. T. Like, you can even I actually have different names for different aspects of self to make it a little bit more fun and playful, because I have different aspects of myself that I have to contend with. And this could be around the way you worry about your finances, the way you worry about being independent when it comes to love, the way you worry about, am I doing enough? Am I enough? Right? I'm getting this underneath it all. You are enough, Aries. You were more than enough. And you are more than powerful than you really give yourself credit for. Let's look at it. I think you want happiness. You want long-term fulfillment. You want long-term success. Doesn't everyone? And you're recognizing how to be patient, how to do the work in the meantime, how to let love in little ways every day, how to stay inspired, how to not deplete your energy, how to stay independent, and how to not let your mind be your worst enemy. Let's look at this Ten of Cups. I feel like you have a lot of soul family energy. Yeah. And we have here in the near future, the moon, very Scorpio. It is Cancer, but I feel like we're under a heavy influence of subconscious realm, underworld digging and excavation in November, especially with the retrograde, where we're being asked to surrender our perspective and understand the perspective of other people, especially people that we have had friction with. I think you're learning how to reconcile parts of yourself that were under reformation around your beliefs around self. And this feels like November is the month you're sealing the deal. It's like, okay, I no longer hold that limiting belief. I no longer hold that emotional attachment to having to prove my worth or having to care about what other people think. I am sovereign. I'm independent. And when it comes to a connection, if you've been having struggles, I think you're learning a lot about yourself through it. That sometimes we go through really difficult energy with people and in our own lives at different chapters. And I know that you've been going through some sort of struggle around connection in general and how to manifest wisely by staying centered and grounded, and how to be careful with your mind. There is a lot of you are calling in a new love opportunity. It seems like there could be two things happening at once. Some of you have a past person that is lingering in your energy, that is pulling your energy frequency down. I see it here in the Seven of Pentacles and this Four of Swords. You've been healing from one thing while trying to manifest something better. Do not go back to the one thing, because I see here you have something going on in your soul family where you've already understood the hidden elements. You've hung out in discomfort to understand why you chose what you chose then. But the new you can't choose the same. If you do, you will be backtracking on your path. So I feel like this is you standing up for your own self. Five of Swords over your Ten of Cups What's rightfully yours is your emotional inheritance of abundance, okay? You have been uncomfortable, all right, as you integrate the past with the present so you can have a new future, Aries. And that is your star. That is your healing, all right? This is a very big month for you of harmony and integration and understanding your patterns. Yeah, and coming back into balance, temperance, and being patient as it all unfolds beautifully. We have temperance over the star, major arcana coming out with the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, some of you have been waiting a very long time for something to happen in your life that feels like a wish come true, or it feels like you finally have reached a vibration where you're at peace. And it's like you can just drop back in. Your mind goes in one place, but you drop back in. See, once we elevate to certain frequencies, we no longer are contending with the same challenges. And if we do, we have a different frequency to observe them. There's a detachment. So I think overall, that's what I'm getting here. You're learning how to detach in ways where that used to snag you or hook you. And that's profound. Knight of Pentacles. And it could be in your own mind, or it could be around a certain someone, or it could be around certain someone's style of relating. Knight of Pentacles, temperance, Six of Swords. Yeah, you're learning how to calm your mind, calm your nervous system. That's a big part of November too. I do see you moving forward, and you've been in transition, and it's almost been like the boat, like, where's the wind, man? I'm like just sitting still. I'm like lost at sea. And the spirit's like, they're sending you like a major gust, okay? And you're going to get to that other shore, right? And you actually have a lot of archangels and divine support clapping for you on the other side, saying, you know what? It's worth it. All the healing you've done, it's worth it. All the struggles you've had, it's worth it, right? Coming out of these karmic timelines, it's worth it. Elevating, integrating, more divine embodiment, it's worth it. Okay, when you work it, I'm getting that Missy Elliott. I have readings like this every now and then, and it is. And Aries, you can make light, right, of the path, and that's the point. But in it, when you're in it, it is not light at all. It's heavy, it's hard, it's dense. It's nice reading, Aries. Very profound transmission coming through for you today. I hope this is confirmation for you, for the path you've been on. All right, we have the final oracle pull for you all with the healing waters, the pink dolphin. Celebration, fun, unbridled joy, open heart. And there you go. There you have it. I think you had to go on lockdown for a while after some difficulties with someone in your past. I think you're looking at it now and going, wow, it doesn't affect me the way it used to. It still pulls me, but I know how to pull back from it, understand the lesson, and not go back to it. You're in a new frequency now. And there's a lot of amazing things that you're traveling toward that are divinely led, okay? It's almost like a baptism by fire here that you've had. Let's look at the pink dolphin. And now you're diving in the water and being a playful dolphin. So if life has been serious for you, I'm getting especially for the last 6 months, things are going to get easier, especially in 2026 for you, Aries. The pink dolphin, 114. The Amazon River dolphin, also known as the pink dolphin because of its unique pinkish color, is an endangered marine mammal that lives in the freshwaters of the Amazon and Orinoco River basins in South America. Deeply revered, it's the subject of many local myths and legends. In one, it's said that if you go swimming alone, the pink dolphins may transport you to the magical underwater city of Encante. To be near dolphins is to experience a whole new level of play and joy. This is a card of welcoming more joy into your life, Aries. To opening your heart and mind to new experiences and prioritizing happiness and fun. To prioritizing play and taking time off from the monotony of our everyday lives. To play like a child without being attached to the outcome. See, lightening up, not taking things so seriously. How can you welcome more joy into your life? What can you do just for fun, Aries? What do you want to celebrate? This card is a wonderful one to receive and is always an invitation to stop being so serious, to play and to have more fun. When we play, we're able to release the pressures and stress that we're carrying and switch off. Often when we do this, the two hemispheres of the brain can make connections and solutions that we previously couldn't see come flowing in. Yeah, nervous system regulation. Big, big, big. Okay? Soul inquiry. How can you welcome more joy into your life, Aries? Wow, the pink dolphin. And look at the symmetry too. We've got a rainbow uniting. So a lot of you are entering into more unity consciousness, solidified states, and leaving. Like I said, the whole collective is leaving this 3D template of being absorbed by the mind, monkey mind, being attached, right, with emotional attachments to others that serve the karmic journey. And now we're elevating out of that. And now you're reaching, what do you find in the new realm? Play, childlike awe, wonderment, fun for the sake of fun. All right? She's smiling and she's being crowned with a new frequency here on her third eye. I'll let you read between the lines on that one. All right, let's get some advice. The pink dolphin. That's very cute. I actually swam with the dolphins many years ago in Puerto Vallarta, if I can say that right. And it was powerful. I'll never forget that experience. Felt like I was surrounded by ascended masters. And many of you have dolphins as totems. I'm hearing some of you actually have plans to swim with dolphins in 2026. It's a magical experience. Whoa, let's get that. There's that Four of Swords again. Rest when needed, okay? Be generous with others in spirit. You've been walking the path of the wounded warrior. There you are. But you've learned all about boundaries. You've learned about what it means to hold yourself in truth and integrity in your boundary waters, okay? Knowing who is granted entry and who isn't, and what thoughts are granted entry, and what vibrations are granted entry, and what isn't. So I feel like there's a lot of discernment that you've learned in your fight, right? In your sovereign journey, right? Spiritual sovereignty means you are on the path of integrating more wholeness, more balance, and more embodiment of, like I said, moving out of wounded, feminine. I'm getting a lot of you are moving out of wounded, feminine, masculine dynamics in relating to healthy dynamics of relating. And it's powerful. So this is deeply integrative work. So allow yourself to receive this month. Allow yourself to rest, to lay your sword down. It's not about charging forward this month. It's about subtly. You see how she holds the sword in her hand upright at her side. This isn't charge, right? This is, if you want to come to me, come clean. And if not, be on your way, right? Yeah, you've been learning a lot about yourself and your resiliency and your perseverance. I feel that it's time for you to lay the armor down and let people in on a deeper level. And I think that's your next chapter, to keep the boundaries alive around people that you have had to release, and to be open to the people that are really generous of heart, who understand what it's been like to be a wounded warrior as well. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. It was very deep and very profound. All right. Give yourself time, drink a lot of water after you watch this, and sit with it, meditate with it. There was a lot revealed. I'm proud of you all. Take care. Namaste.